Before I go further, I would like to announce that the full-length trip that I took on the S90E is available on Patreon, along with many other audio recordings and video content without any commentary necessary. So if you like, you could click the link in the description and donate a small amount of money, not a lot, so that I could continue to upload content available and could be able to go places. In fact, I was happy that I was able to take the S90 because I've been on Staten Island for almost 20 years and I've never been able to take it. Like, this is one thing I wanted to mention. Remember when the MTA first changed all of the Staten Island Express bus routes and how that was a major change from the older routes? Well, many, including some friends that I know that either operate the express bus on Staten Island or probably take the express bus from time to time, at least before the pandemic, has mentioned how the express bus is now much faster than it used to be. And that actually resulted in an increase in ridership on the express bus. Before the pandemic, of course. And that really started a chain of events that encouraged many to consider redesigning bus networks from how they currently are, to in a way being a much faster and more convenient system for many. Because let's face it, we can have all the newest, most fuel efficient or even no fuel at all buses we want, but if they still run on the same routes, then what's the point? So I finally had the opportunity to go on the MTA website and download the entire Staten Island bus map on my phone. And I'll be honest, since I got a chance to evaluate some of the lines, admittedly, there are some lines that can stay, and others that could probably be changed or potentially discontinued. To me, the most ideal service that could be available is one that could achieve probably a one-way or maybe a round trip in less than an hour. Now, why less than an hour in particular? Well, it's because of the MetroCard and soon-to-be Omni system. One thing you gotta know is that for everyone that don't live in New York City is that let's say you use a MetroCard to pay for one bus trip, like let's say a local or a limited bus route, and then afterwards you transfer to the subway. If that's achieved in less than an hour, then the transfer is free. But in some cases, sometimes it can't be fully accomplished, and for various reasons. Like for instance, Staten Island is home to the S78, aka the longest bus route in New York City. Now, in some cases, you need a bus system that goes all the way from Bricktown Mall to St. George Ferry. And in some cases, I don't want to change up that concept, but what could be done in some cases is to see if bus systems like that could probably go down on a two-way street where there's less turns required, and not to mention remove some of the bus stops where there's not so many passengers boarding or disembarking. Or look at the S57 for instance. It starts by going down Port Richmond Avenue, turns on one street and then goes down Decker Avenue, only to come back around to go on Willowbrook Road. Now, in a way to save time, I would just suggest it continuing all the way down Port Richmond Avenue to the end, and then stay on the street until it becomes Willowbrook Road. By the way, I couldn't get my thoughts straight, and basically that street that the 57 turns on is Post Avenue. Now, without the 57 on Post Avenue, that leaves the 44 by itself, which honestly, I don't like the fact that the 44 goes down Post Avenue, because in a way, much time would be saved if it goes along with other bus routes like the 46 on Castleton. And it could probably stay on Castleton until it reaches Broadway, and then on Broadway it could make a right turn on Henderson Avenue and continue down Henderson Avenue until it reaches Lafayette, and then a left turn, and then a right on Richmond Terrace. Speaking of buses that go down Castleton Avenue, now one bus that's near and dear to me because it got me to and from high school was the S46. And honestly, with regards to the 46, one of the changes that I could see is probably once it if it's going to the ferry, comes down South Avenue and then makes a right turn on Forest. One thing I could see, and some that live in the apartment buildings might not like this suggestion, is basically to save time on the 46, it could probably continue on Forest until it reaches Maple Parkway. Then on Maple Parkway, it makes a left turn until it eventually reaches Walker Street. And then on Walker Street, instead of turning on Morningstar Road, it could probably just continue all the way down Walker Street. And then from Walker Street, it could be able to make a left-hand turn on Port Richmond Avenue, and then a right on Castleton, and then continue on its way. And finally, there are some routes that in a way are only used on during the weekdays. It's not even used on weekends, and in a way I kind of respect that. So in a way, one route that I could suggest, instead of going all the way to St. George Ferry, but could probably be used almost like a shuttle, for instance, is the S66. In a way, that could be almost like a Jewett Avenue shuttle going from Port Richmond Avenue all the way up to Victory Boulevard, and then just making a turnaround, which would leave the opportunity to take one of the other buses that already continues down Victory Boulevard until it reaches the ferry terminal. Altogether, this could definitely result in some faster buses. Now, with regards to some bus routes in particular that, are used for like a special service, like I know my alma mater, Port Richmond High School, for instance, had special buses on the 46 and 44 routes. Now, in a way, I wouldn't discontinue the special buses. They're definitely needed. But in a way, to help to have a faster bus system, I would definitely try to see if basically they're not included. Just going completely out of the way of a route is included in the system itself. Basically, just use it for a special bus. And I'm not saying that these changes will definitely change the bus network for Staten Island, make things better or worse, because really no bus system or no bus route is the best one. Just evaluate everything, like I said in another video, on an annual or a biannual basis, and basically see how it works. If one change is good, then implement the change, and if things are well, keep it, and if things aren't well, then discontinue it. Either way, it's all about seeing how a bus system, or just any type of system, whether bus, subway, or anything, can improve. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments.